All right, guys, let's get started here. Um, let's bring up some news today. Not a lot, guys. We have one little news, and it may have a little impact on the market, but nothing to write home about. Chicago PMI comes out 15 minutes after the open. 15 minutes after the open here at 9:45 Eastern, 6:45 Pacific here, guys. So Chicago PMI is the only news that we have out today, um, which is good and bad. Obviously, news will add a little volume to our markets and give us a little, a little bigger moves. But so that's all we have to deal with today. Chicago PMI, guys. Chicago PMI. So yeah, mark your calendars. Make sure we're not getting into any trades right at that time. If you're in one already, maybe 10, 15 minutes before then, just tighten up your stops. I would hate to see you guys get any type of loss based on a news fluctuation. Best just to sit on your hands during the announcements. Let's drag this over here. We got 15-minute anchor charts here. We'll start with the S&P as always. Pretty clear cut, guys. What we see here. It's been channeling down for quite some time now. We're looking at this channel for about a week and a half, starting on Thursday 2 weeks ago. A very, very, very easy defined channel here. Basically, right now we're coming down into the lower range of that channel, as you can see here. Coming down into the lower range of that channel. Not only are we coming into that low range of the channel, but we're also coming into the halfway pullback of this full swing here. If you take this full swing, that's been over this last 30 to 35 days, the bottom being down there, drag it all the way up. You see this blue line that comes through here? That is a 50% retracement. Now, yes, that is significant, especially on a longer time frame. For us, no, we just got to know that there could be a little bit of a chop area in here because people who are using like hourly charts and daily charts and 4 hour charts, they see this halfway back and it provides some significance for them. Previous support here, retesting it right now, so we could see a little bit of chop in here today. What's that tell me? Be a little more careful. Use your smaller time frame to your advantage. I use a 512 tick for my trading time frame on the ES here. So use that to your advantage. Wait for them 512 ticks using that chart. Wait for them structure breaks, such as something like this, and we can use that for our buying and selling. We start breaking structures, we'll just go with that. And that's nice having such a small time frame on such a using an anchor chart, such a larger time frame to find our areas of support and resistance. We can zoom into a smaller time frame and take advantage of chop that anybody using a 5 minute, 15 minute hourly chart to trade off of, they're going to get a little bit chopped up. So my recommendation, especially in a day like today, it looks like it could be a little bit of a chop day. Is make sure you really hone in and make sure you have price break. You have these price structures. Make sure they break before you try to get into anything. So I'm going to be talking a lot today about price structure and just constantly reminding myself, reminding you, just watch them previous price structures. On a 15-minute anchor chart, there's not going to be a lot for us to watch today, except for the fact of watching these previous highs and previous lows, previous highs here, previous lows of these channels here. You see where the previous day's trading range is, guys, way up here. You see the previous day's low, previous day's high, everything's marked up, and we're way down here. So if we do catch some buyers in here because of this full swing, I'm more than happy to, but it's going to have to be on a smaller time frame, and we're going to have to start breaking structure. Now on a 15, it's always going to look like it's down, so it's always going to look like we're counter trend anything we buy. But we got to use a smaller time frame and manage it like a smaller time frame. We're going to go for smaller winners and so on and so forth. If we can break above this 76 area, um, we got free sale all the way up here to the 80s. So we got 4 points here worth of move until we come up to previous day's low. Now, if we're able to do that, wonderful. But if this thing opens up, you know it's going to open up negative, period. But if the internals open up and you don't have any of them buyers come in here, this is going to stay down all day. It's called a gap and go. And I'll talk about that about a half hour into it because there's a gap and go trade that I talk about. It takes an hour for it to actually process. You know, it's an hour by using the market internals. So something I'll definitely keep you up to date in whenever the market opens. But if somehow we're able to actually catch some buyers in here, some volume wants to come into the upside, we do have a nice little upside gap, a little space for us to go ahead and try to maneuver through. But if it doesn't happen, guys, expect some chop today. And just like I said, make sure you really use your smaller time frame. Watch price structure and don't get chopped around. Euro, guys, once again, I may just be out of Euro. I talked about this the last couple weeks. Euro has been pushing hard, chop and chop and chop, pushing hard, chop, 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 gap up or push hard, chop, 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 push up, chop. That's just how this sucker is moving, and it's very difficult to trade. All these spikes, you don't really have any real opportunity unless you're a breakout trader to trade these. So I'm not. I'm more of a pullback, more of a trade with momentum, and I don't really trade a lot of breakouts. I do have a breakout strategy, but if you're been with me very long, I may take 2 to 4 a month. So it just doesn't happen very often for me, guys. I'm not comfortable with it, so I just stay away from it. And Euro has been one of the markets that's been either catch a breakout or you kind of just sit on your hand. Catch a breakout or just kind of sit on your hand. So we'll see, but I don't see a lot going on in Euro for me. Russell's obviously been the stronger of the indexes. It's holding very strong, but even it has had a significant gap down today and is really, really struggling. So it's not looking good for the index. Even though we were looking for the upside, it's not looking good. If we do catch that buy, just like I was talking about on the S&P, though, if we do catch some buyers, plenty of gap here in the Russell. Plenty of opportunity for us to go ahead and get some opportunities to this upside, retest that previous day's low, that we have marked in there. So be cautious, so guys. Use your trading time frames because these longer time frames are not going to give us crap today. Except for finding some support and resistance. But as far as entering with a low risk opportunity, gonna need to use smaller trading time frames. But I'm very curious how this first half hour is going to go. So this should be interesting. Once again, though, the Russell is holding a little bit stronger than the other indexes. It's just, but once again, it's gap down. It's just slowly chopping its way to the downside, waiting for this U.S. Open. So we'll wait and see after that. Crude, here is probably our second most traded market, crude. Just like the S&P, guys. Channel and down, they're virtually identical as I talked about in the morning prep. Virtually identical. Chop down, guys, and you can see what I got drawn up down here. We're at the low end of this channel. We're at the low end of the channel here, guys, and potentially looking for some bidders, get some people to buy this thing up. If no one's going to buy this thing up, then I don't know. I do have a fib drawn here, and I talked about this 102.40 area, 102.40. Talked about that as support or resistance. So if we can catch some buyers, I'm going to go ahead and trade this on up to that 102.40. So plenty of room to trade, but once again, a gap down, guys. Be very cautious. Gap down here. Expect some chop. That's just what's to be expected. So not a bad day, but it could be just one of the days where we kind of have to sit here for a little bit and be patient. It just has that look. Not getting much pre-market move. It's a lot of consolidation in pre-market, not a lot of move. So expect either a breakout or just a nice choppy day. It's Monday, guys. Expect things to be just a little bit slower here at the open. So Let me go get a drink, a cup of coffee, and I'll come right back. But do we have any quick questions here about the morning analysis? Any questions about any of these markets? Okay, I'm not seeing much come across. You all good? Everybody's saying pretty well good. Understandable. Okay, very good, very good. Yeah, like I say, guys, it's Monday. Let's make sure we're aware that we're humans. People come to the office just a little bit slower on Mondays. So just expect the markets to start up a little bit slower. So um, that's it for me. I'm going to be real patient here. I have a couple things I'm going to watch here about a half hour in and throughout the morning, but use them smaller time frame and trading time frames to depict price, whether we're breaking any type of minor structure, and possibly give us a trading opportunity. So let me go get a drink real fast, guys, and I'll be right back. Yeah, no problem, man.